Welcome back to another episode of my Seattle Mariners franchise here on MLB The Show 25. I said it in the last episode. I really wanted to kind of get things moving here uh, through the back end of the year. We're 8.5 games up in the American League West. The team is struggling. I think we're going to get through the trade deadline maybe somewhere into this middle of August. I kind of want to get through the rest of the regular season, I would say within 3 episodes tops, because my goal, kind of just the overall perspective, I want to try to get through, uh, 5 seasons. Let's say we do the amount of episodes that I'm doing per month. I'm doing 2 a week, trying to get 96 episodes essentially into a 12-month process here. Need 8 a month, and that's going to be pretty close to what I should be getting. Probably going to end up being maybe more like 11, 11 months, something like that during this time period. So obviously, I don't want to run it completely up to MLB The Show 25. But in order for me to get 5 seasons out of that, I need to end up playing 19 games or 19 episodes per season to get to that five season mark. This is episode 10. Just like with work scheduling and stuff, it's harder for me to try to get a ton of like games in a single episode. Like when we've reached the playoffs, probably be like 2 quick count games, in an episode. It's going to be harder for me to really get a whole lot more than that. So I think giving ourselves, 5 or 6 episodes for a season, or for like the playoffs, I think would end up being a good thing. Then you also have off-season episodes and all that. So we're going to move through the trade deadline. I did, kind of off-screen, try to take a look at maybe trying to formulate a trade. I do have some things that I'm interested in. If I take a look at the roster, like the Cubs have Seiya Suzuki for whatever reason on the trade block, but obviously they're leading. Do have the Cardinals and Reds down here. There have been a lot of trades, and I have turned down the sliders for that. I don't like how many trades that we get. Like if you take a look, completed trades, we'll just do just trades for everybody, and there have already been a ton of trades. While that might kind of be the case in real life, some of these are pretty like major significant names being moved here. I'll kind of scroll up a little slower. So like Weatherholt got traded from the Cardinals. He's a top shortstop prospect for them. I'm not really familiar with Talkman. Torkelson got traded, which is maybe not crazy. Jackson Jobe got traded for Isaac Paredes. Not really loving that. Kleber Torres, Mason Miller. You had the Jonah Bride trade that I didn't see there between the Marlins and the Reds. Like a lot of these stuff obviously doesn't pop up. You had Nick Lodolo get traded to the Athletics for Zach Geloff. Not crazy about that from the Athletics perspective, and he really doesn't make sense for the Reds there either. Nolan Gorman would have been a guy I would have probably liked to trade for there. Obviously, we saw the William Contreras Riley Green trade. Evan Carter got traded for TJ Fradel. Like, I don't think the Rangers would do that in real life. Which I try to take, things that I would think would happen in real life and kind of just, ignore it in the this is our own universe, so on and so forth. But it bothers me a little bit. So I'm turning trades down. The Roman Anthony, Lawrence Butler trade. Marcelo Meyer got traded for George Clausen. There between the Angels and the Red Sox. Like Matt Shaw for Shea Langoliers. Like that's a move that I like for the Athletics. I don't really know that I love that for the Cubs. Connor Norby. One of the Marlins kind of few building blocks gets traded. So, obviously, a lot of moves being made here, and some of them, are not terrible trades. But as I'm taking a look, the Cardinals, really, really bad. They have a potential reclamation project here with their first baseman, excuse me, what position is he listed at? I'm thinking of the Mr. Hurricane series where he ended up playing first base for them. Jordan Walker is a 22-year-old. He's got B potential, and I don't know what his potential actually is, but he's having a pretty solid season here for St. Louis. They're not playing that well, but we don't really have a ton of prospects that I feel great about, and I'm not willing to trade one of our pitchers when I think we are a legitimate World Series contender if the offense can score a little bit. But Walker, I mean, a lot of his ratings are improving. Don't know that he's ever going to be the superstar. It looked like he was going to be at one point in time, but I thought that was interesting. The Reds are not particularly great. They traded for Evan Carter. I thought about maybe trying to go after Spencer Steer, a guy that's got a couple of years available, but he's not having a great season. Jake Fraley is having a better year. He's a lefty-lefty guy. Solid arm, but like the attributes aren't anything that stands out. As a 29-year-old, 74 overall, I think he would help though. But we have just got massive holes in this lineup. So Robles is now dramatically dropped off from where he was doing earlier in the year. Obviously the steals and stuff are great, but currently a 639 OPS. He's definitely playing much closer to the ratings than he was earlier in the year. Jorge Polanco is a guy that I like, 740 OPS. I have no problems with that. He walks a lot, which helps make up for that average, and he's providing pop, which is really nice. But a 315 on-base percentage is starting to teeter on being a little too low. Obviously, Julio has been a superstar. He's on a bit of a slide here. Through the month of July, he's been better over his last 10 games. OPS, though, is still below what it is for the season, just not hitting for a ton of pop. Hadn't hit a home run over his last 10 games as he's kind of stagnated with that, but is certainly kind of getting back to where he was having a dreadful start to July. But like Raleigh is not – the average is up. The on-base percentage is well above his career average, but the slugging is just way down this year. He's only hit 9 homers. He's regressing on some of his stats as a 28-year-old. He's supposed to be our second best hitter. He's not really playing that way. Luke Fraley has been pretty terrible, to be honest. Arozarena has had spurts, like he's on a heater right now. 2 homers over his last 10 games, but they both came the last episode, but a 961 OPS over the last 10. So he's doing okay. He is actually progressing. Canzone is definitely progressing here a little bit, but he's, 687 OPS. He's not playing particularly well right now. Dylan Moore, you're not getting a bat at all. So 494 OPS. JP Crawford, the 765 OPS has been really rock solid for us throughout the year. On a bit of a struggling right now, but there's not a lot really off the bench either. I mean, Garver is progressing, but 713 OPS is actually hitting better than Raleigh is right now. But he's not awesome. Shenton has been good when we have used him. He's been dreadful otherwise. Solano is probably a guy I just need to cut at this point in time. And Ryan Bliss is not an impact bat at all. So I'm not going to trade a pitcher. I'm not going to trade one of these starting 5 pitchers. I'm not going to do it. I think Emerson Hancock could probably be okay for us as a starter. He's been solid through the 26 innings that he's pitched so far this year. But I don't want that as my – and it might actually be worth trading, Luis Castillo, a Bryce Miller, getting a really solid bat. I'm just not loving the thought process of doing that and then moving Hancock or Joyce into that starting rotation and having that big of a drop-off. If Hancock had 40 or 50 innings right now and still had that 3.04 ERA, I might be a little bit more inclined. But the walk rate, strikeout rate, he's pitching a little above his FIP right now, but he's been rock solid. It's just, Miller, a 3.98 FIP. Wu, a 3.82, definitely pitching above his FIP right now. Castillo, we're so good in that starting rotation and what we got out of the bullpen. I do not want to break that up. Now, as I'm taking a look at this team, Catcher, I feel okay about. I think that we're due for a Raleigh, month of hitting 7, 8, 10 home runs. I personally feel like between him and Garver, you got a pretty good group there. Obviously, Harry Ford pretty much done for the year, which sucks. Couldn't even experiment with him. First base is a massive problem for us. Rowdy Tellez is not really hitting that great in the minors. Maybe it's worth just giving him a chance, but we're really expecting him to be that much better than Fraley. Second base, I do like Jorge Polanco and the stability he has provided. He has progressed a ton. The power is way up again. I like what he is doing for us, for sure. Third base is Polanco is playing there a lot, as Dylan Moore is playing a lot of their second base. So Solano, this is a just terrible. He has majorly regressed. Did not play well enough for me to cut this regression at all. I think Crawford, so I feel good about the production from shortstop, what we're getting out of Polanco. Rosa Reyna is not just awful, but I would sure love another 30 or 40 points to that OPS. Whether it was just more slugging to go along with the lower OBP or a little bit more, just getting on base. Canzone, I feel like, has done okay, but again, he's just not great. So, maybe we probably need to take a look here at the trade block and just see if there's somebody that I think makes sense for us to go trade for. So the Rangers are having a good season. I really would love an outfielder. Seiya Suzuki would be awesome. He's having a great season, really producing, but the Cubs are playing, they've been awesome. So don't really want to make that move. There's just not really anybody. Henry Davis is definitely not working out here for Pittsburgh at all. Is it worth going? So even for the Cardinals, is it really worth trading a young 22, 23-year-old guy? That just doesn't really make any sense. There's just not a lot of guys that, to me, make sense for us to trade for. The Blue Jays have not been good at all. Springer has regressed, not having a great season at all. Nathan Lukes has been terrible. Varsho has been awful. One of the worst regulars in the majors this year. So he's not giving you anything. Jonathan Clase, really low rated. He's not an improvement. Obviously, Santander would be great to have. He's having another really good season with Pop, but you've got to then pay him. Bo Bichette is going to cost an arm and a leg for us to trade for. Would probably slide him to second base, which he doesn't have a secondary position, so it would be him playing shortstop, Crawford sliding around, Polanco probably playing third. But he just costs so much to trade for. They don't really have any third baseman. They're really, Ernie Clement is not awful, but he is regressing for whatever reason. Jimenez, not giving you much offensively. Obviously a phenomenal defender. He is very expensive. He's there for a long time. Vlad would be amazing, right? I would be worried to even look to see what it would cost to trade for Guerrero. And he, then you have to worry about trying to sign him. Because this is it for him. Let's just take a look. We'll just start there. This is going to be an episode we might, I don't know. I'm not really planning on making any moves. We'll just take a glance. Just suggest me something from prospects that would make sense. Nothing, okay? We'll just do kind of everybody on the team. They have no trades. So they have no want to trade me Vladimir Guerrero. The Red Sox are not having a great year, but they're right at 500. They have a guy that would make sense. Wilyer Abreu, not playing that well. Certainly has some upside to him. Even a Trevor Story, not playing well enough. I want guys that are simming well, too. Make me feel better, about giving them a chance. There's just not really anybody here. Blaze Jordan, that's a name, it's like a young phenom hitting a bunch of big home runs when he was 12, 13 years old. If we go over to the Rockies. So, Toglia, again, they have him for a while. He's not playing that well. Doesn't really make any sense. Kyle Farmer has been terrible. Chris Bryant, I mean, he's in AAA for them. Uh, let's see. I mean, a Ryan McMahon. It's a 715 OPS, 80 overall. He is still progressing. What would it take trading prospects for him? So Montez and Will Klein means not really anything to me. Montez is a guy we did recently did a video, went over him. I do think he's got solid potential to be a major leaguer. Is it maybe that is a move to make? 715. I mean, he's a 700 plus OPS guy that doesn't really get above that. Ryan McMahon. What's the contract? So not really all that expensive if we wanted to go that route. If we didn't want to go McMahon, obviously Nolan Jones is having a really good year. B potential, 26 years old. You got 3 more years of team control after this one. I would imagine that he is going to be more expensive, and they want Cole Young for him. I did go ahead and look at this one. Cole Young is not a player that I am really interested in trading. I think that he is a year or two away from being a guy that can play at the major leagues for us. Do I trust Nolan Jones' bat enough? He's only hit 6 homers. So while the OPS is really, really good, it really is. I don't know that I trust it. That's the thing. Would like a little bit more pop if I'm giving away a guy that I really like. Brent Doyle, more of a defender. Got a good clutch stat there. OPS has been okay. Obviously, as a Georgia fan, would love Charlie Condon. Obviously not realistic. Wouldn't help us out this year anyway. So I think you're looking at Ryan McMahon. I could be interested in that. We look at the Cardinals. Brendan Donovan, there's just no slugging to him. If he's not getting on base, he is not really doing a whole lot else for you offensively. Lars Nootbaar is hurt, so can't even trade for him. We can get Jordan Walker. Alec Burleson, 26 years old. A couple more years of team control. Potential, having a solid season. Let's just take a look, see what it would take for this. This is probably a little bit more up my speed. I don't think Sijinche, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that name. I don't really project him to be like a starter for us long term. Ty Pete is developing, 19-year-old, see potential shortstop. I think Burleson would make sense, and I think that's a cheap deal. A guy that hits righties well, good clutch, so even lefty wouldn't kill you in that, in the middle of the order spot. Putting together a pretty good season. Burleson, I think right now would probably be my number 1 pick. We're just looking for a guy to add. And I do think we need to add somebody to this lineup. And I think that he would end up playing. I mean, he could, if nothing else, he could be a DH. The defense is obviously not great. So he could be a DH for us, and I think be just fine and be a positive for us. We'll keep Burleson in mind. I might be talking myself into making a move here. Let's see. Anything else really here for the Cardinals that would interest me? Arenado, that's just a big contract. I don't want to trade for that. That's not what I'm looking for. So we'll take a look. Keep a mind on Alec Burleson there, because I would be willing to make that trade. Maybe throw a little on top just to make myself feel a little better about it. Anybody for the Pirates? I don't really know what their record is. I want to look for teams that need some rebuilding, that could take some prospects. The Nationals are lower. The Giants are lower. Padres not having a great year. They just got monster contracts everywhere there. Pirates are right at 500. They're 1 game out. The Cardinals are 4 game out of the wild card. They are not playing very well, though. Let's look at the American League wild card. Just take a look at some of these lower end teams. I don't really want to make a move for anybody in our own division. We'll take one look at the Guardians. If not, I think we might. I think I've talked myself into making a trade here. And I was not expecting to do so at all, but we could definitely upgrade this DH spot and upgrade the middle of this lineup. I think would be really, really beneficial for us. So let's just take one look at the Guardians. Lane Thomas regressing to an extent, not having a great year. Tyler Freeman just not really what I'm looking for. Noel having a dreadful year. Stephen Kwan, I would obviously like, he's having a bad year there as well. I mean, obviously, who would not want Jose Ramirez? Just there's not enough there. Santana's not having a big year there either. Bo Naylor is just too young. So let's do this. I think I talked myself into it. Let's go here to the Cardinals. They've got Jordan Walker. They got Lars Nootbaar. They got Nootbaar for 3 more years. They got Jordan Walker for a lot more time if they want him. Burleson is a 72 overall, B potential. Does not play the field well at all. He is essentially a DH. They should be pretty cheap. They are, I mean, are they considering themselves rebuilding? I guess it'd be easier to just do it this way. Where are we at? They're considering themselves rebuilding. I think that's realistic for them to move Burleson. I really do. I think that's realistic. They have not been very good. They are near the bottom of the Central. He's another outfielder for them. They have outfielders. They need a couple of decent prospects. I think makes sense. Yeah, so Burleson would be behind Walker, Talkman. Of course, Talkman's a little older. So Nootbaar, Walker would be right in line with the Siani. Brendan Donovan, he would be behind. So he's playing a lot for them. Playing pretty well. He's already 26. This is also why I don't like to make trades, is because I have a hard time trying to think of what would be realistic. But for them, as they're starting pitchers, if you look at it, sort them by potential. As far as young guys, they have Quinn Matthews, Zebby Matthews, Tink Hintz. And then, it pretty quickly gets to more, Takoa Roby. I think that Burleson being that far down to 26-year-old, I think is probably going to top out roughly what he is right now. I think making this move for Burleson, I think makes sense for us. So now they're wanting Celestine. I don't want to make that move. So let's go back. We added a couple of pitchers, so I don't really mind losing this guy. He's a switch pitcher. I don't really know how that works on this game. But with all the pitchers that we have ahead of him, I really have no problem making that move. They also would maybe be interested in, obviously they would absolutely do that trade. Ty Pete was the other one. He is below 3 other shortstops for us. They have Mason Wynn at short. He's doing okay, but has not been great. Pete's got the chance to, in a couple of years, be a usable piece. I think for sure he's at least progressing. And Durangelo is okay. He's just blocked by, a host of people, and we just drafted other people that are going to be well above him. He would be below Dollard. I would definitely move him up before then. Jimmy Joyce, Emerson Hancock, getting him an opportunity in the rotation. We got a lot of years on him as well. Let's make this move. I'll throw in Jackson Kowar just for fun. We'll do that. We'll trade. We have now added Alec Burleson to this outfield. He is going to be moving in to DH for us. We do have to send somebody down from the Major League roster. And I think that Solano absolutely makes the most sense. He's not really playing at all. He's not playing very well. We will move him down to AAA. Designate him. Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll designate for assignment. And yeah, we have now made room in our lineup. And immediately going into it will be Burleson. Now, Burleson against lefties at 61.76 there for Garver, 44.50. So Burleson will come off the bench against lefties for us, I think is what we're going to do. Burleson can play first base. That's a 38.51, 44.50. We'll move Burleson to first base here against lefties, so we do get his bat in the lineup while still keeping Garver in there. But yeah, I just think it's time. We'll move Burleson up to the 5 spot here against righties. So we have made our first trade. It's not a gigantic one, but I think it's one that could really help if Burleson can just do this. Just give me that 750 OPS for the rest of the year. He's hitting 876 over his last 10. I think that is a well worth doing, and since we did do that, let's play a game. Again, I did not come to this episode expecting to make a trade. Let's player lock with Burleson here for a couple of games. I think that would be worth doing. And he's bringing that 271 average that is already the second best in our lineup. Let me know, thoughts and comments down below, what you think about this trade. I think it's a solid one. I don't think it's one that's necessarily unfair to the Cardinals. I don't think it was some massive blockbuster trade where we're really taking advantage of them. Let's get a couple of swings here with Burleson. That'll be our only trade. For sure, as we take a look at the farm report, Cole Young, I really think he's going to be ready here in a year or two to take over there at short. Emerson still playing well. Arroyo playing well. The middle infield could be set up nicely moving forward. We are going to hold on to Montez, but we do get our big trade here for Burleson. Let's see what he can do for us in his debut. This is against a righty, so he's just DHing. We won't see any fielding opportunities. First pitch, he rolls over that 81 contact, 88 as the Rosarena hits a home run. He had 3 runs there from Milwaukee. Yeah, 88 vision, 81 contact. He should really hit righty as well. It's a good fastball. That good contact on that one, just a little bit under it. And if nothing else, we'll play a couple of games with him. Let's see. I am very swing happy. We're getting fastballs up in the zone. A little late on that one. Hitting the ball well, though. All right, how about let's watch a pitch here. Rayleigh hits a solo homer. Makes it 3-2. We're now up against the lefty here. Nobody on. So this is definitely not his strength here. 44 contact. The 88 vision, that's always going to play, though. Foul that one off a little early. Obviously not an outstanding debut here for Burleson. I think I went. 1-2 count.
Two and 2.
Blow the zone, 2-2. That's the bat of the day for Burleson. Excited to make a trade because I didn't think I was actually going to make one. I do think it's a trade that makes sense for us because it's a guy that DHs against righties, can play first base, replace Rayleigh against lefties. That's a strikeout, so it does end up being a subpar day there for sure for him in his debut. Rosarena and Rayleigh hit homers. We had 3 total hits. So Burleson did not fix the offense overnight. Got a great pitching performance there from Miller. Obviously a great outing from the bullpen. The bullpen didn't give up a single run there. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll play another game with him. I believe I've already done all that. Yes, I've signed every draft pick. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget something there. This will be Burleson against a lefty at first base. Okay. I really don't know what the how many of the play the moments kind of thing that you'll get here with him at first base. I guess we'll take a look here. Playing the Brewers, who are right below 500. I think Burleson definitely raises the floor of this offense. Hopefully we can, maintain this lead in the West. Finally end the Houston Astros' reign of terror. So it's Nestor Cortez, a lot of movement on his stuff. Not throw with great velocity. Good pitch to hit early on the fastball. You got a runner on third. He's got 71, clutch, so that helps. Need to at least get this runner. Hey! Fastball. 0-2 count. Looking for Burleson's first hit in Seattle. 3! Instead, he is going to strike out. It's been a couple of days since I've actually played like a full game. Hey! Golly, that sweeper moved a lot more late than what I was thinking. I can't play too much with Burleson if I'm going to kill all of his stats here. As soon as he moves over. I've watched a couple of hittable fastballs with him. 3! They got me again with the sweeper. Everything's just so slow right now. Julio does hit a home run. Finally gets off the snide with that. Gives the Mariners a 1-0 lead. Now it's Aaron Ashby. Bases are loaded, nobody out. At least make this a 2-0 lead. That is going to do more than that. It's going to get down. 2 runners are going to come across. And Alec Burleson does get his first RBI as a Seattle Mariner. He comes in a base hit there to left field. Knocks in 2 runners with the bases loaded. Love to see that. Trevor McGill now up. Ooh, 102. Now you're facing a guy with some velocity. Okay. 2 strikeouts and a single. 2 RBIs. That is a hittable knuckleball or curve there. Come on. Oh, great catch out in right field. Man, South River was a really, really nice play out there. Okay. Oh, now we get a... Okay. 3-2 count. Holy smoke. Going to be a base hit. The ball will come in offline to corner infielder as it approaches. The game slows down for 3 seconds. Okay. Try to get that over to third, maybe. Okay. Figured that run was going to score. All right, so we're still up 3. Let it roll. The Mariners get a victory, and Burleson is a big part of it here. He's able to get a 2 RBI single into left with the bases loaded. Nice. We needed that. Nice to feel like we actually accomplished something with the guy we just recently traded for. Do get that. We'll now move things along here. I think after that, let's yeah, and that's going to be it. Julio does finally get that 24th home run. Another great start there from Kirby. Always good to see. Let's simulate here just a little bit. See if anything pops up. No, Julio. Golly. We'll just have it auto-fix lineups for right now. Garver has 2 home runs. We're up 7-0. We'll let that one go. Like Hunt, we'll just auto that one. Definitely on a bit of a tear here. It's down 1 run, Arozarena. Get a little action here. 34 minutes into recording. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll definitely move here through the trade deadline. Probably middle of. I definitely want to see how the draft picks look, and then want to get a little bit into August. Rosarena should drive in that run. He's going to do a lot more than that as a Rosarena comes up with a 3-run homer off the flame-throwing Ben Joyce. A big-time shot there, his 18th home run of the year. Again, he's on a bit of a heater right now since the All-Star break. Rosarena with a clutch 3-run homer there. Knocking in Rayleigh and Marlowe, got just enough of that. Felt good about at least getting the runner from third in. He did a lot more than that. Austin Shenton now getting a chance to play today. Ball is ripped over to right.
He's out.
Didn't do much with it though. Polanco.
Counts 1-0.
Watch this one low. Still got a 723 OPS. Just keep it above 700, Jorge. Earn you another contract here next year.
Hey!
Ooh, a nice change up there.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ben Joyce is not having a good year. 7.68 ERA. Oh, that was a good pitch. Really worried about that velocity. Circle change being a 20-mile-an-hour difference is insanity. How's that one away? Okay. Come on, Polanco. That was a much more hittable slider there. Trying to do this without Julio. 2 weeks is pretty much going to cut him out of the MVP race unless he really comes back swinging it well. We might get to the time he comes back. Maybe the last game of the day will be his be a player lock with him fastball. Pretty much down the middle there. Froze me off there, all the off-speed stuff. We will return to simulating, and we do get the job done here. Rosarena, 3-run homer. He's the big shot. 5-3 win. Nice. Love to see it. Looks like we're playing pretty well right now. So, kind of getting back to our winning ways with a little bit of a lighter part of the schedule. Yes, we've won 5 games in a row now. Burleson hit a home run in this Friday matchup against the Angels. Robles had the 2 doubles. A really good start for Castillo. Would look here. So Burleson goes 1 for 3 in this game. So kind of holding tight there. This was the Rosarena home run game. Okay. Do lose that game against the Angels. Not worried about any of that. All right, so we are up 2 in the 8th spire. Roman Anthony is up for the Athletics, #1 prospect in all of baseball. Is up for the Athletics. Obviously, they traded Lawrence Butler, and this was the big guy for them. He's struggling here early. Got a big moment here, though, with 2 outs. Spire with a really good fastball there. It's not a good matchup for Anthony. Lefty. Swings through the slider there.
0-2 is the count.
0-2 count. Sinker down low. He fouls it off. Back to the slider here with Spire. Gets him to chase. Get out of trouble there. Oakland looking to get another victory. Turn to simulating. Get another win here. Logan Gilbert, really good outing. Luke Rayleigh gets his 16th home run. Burleson, 2 for 2 with a walk. Got his average up to 274. Knocked in an RBI. J.P. Crawford had an error. Had 2 steals from Robles. Burleson got caught stealing. Yeah, really good start from Gilbert. Spire and Munoz were really good coming out of the pen. Pitching around trouble, didn't give up any runs. We get a 3-1 victory there. So doing pretty well since we traded for Burleson, which is nice to see. Traded for him at the beginning of the episode, and we have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2 since we've gotten him. Let's get through. Got Burleson at 3rd, Raleigh at 2nd. We're winning the game 10-8. We'll let it ride. We do win another game here. Got another opportunity. We'll let it ride. Cade Marlowe out. Golly. We're getting hit with the stop simulating. Yes, that'll be fine. So this 10-8 game, Rayleigh hit 2 home runs. He has taken us trading for Burleson personally. Rayleigh is rolling right now. And then even this game here, Robles, Polanco, Garver all hit homers. Steele got roughed up in this one, then Brash struggled there late. Burleson does not get a hit. We're now, you trade for him and then you lose Julio, which is not incredible. Let's see what Rayleigh has done here over this last 10-game stretch or so. 353 is OPS 1271. He's hit 5 homers, slugging 882. There we go. We are now going to be past the trade deadline. Let's see if there was anything else that this. Fujinama was terrible. Windish was really good. Diaz, solid. Pomeranz has been really good down in the minors. So we got Julio is still out for another couple of days. Santos, yeah, he's the one that had the head fracture. Definitely hurts to lose him. He was having a really great year for us. Salcedo's been okay. Yeah, the bullpen's been really good. It's hard to complain too much about that at all. Let's see. Santos is out. Let's bring Pomeranz. Has been legitimate down here. Not currently on the 40-man. Who else is on the 40-man? Take away. That's definitely a guy we can remove from the 40-man. Let's bring Pomeranz. Let's add him. He's been somebody I've been keeping an eye on, and he has just been great the entire year. We will bring him up. Have him as just another bullpen piece. I think that should help us. See what other trades maybe went down here since our trade. Just one more trade. So you have Bobby Miller get traded for C.J. Abrams. Okay. So the Dodgers could use Abrams this year with Mookie Betts being out. The trade for Burleson did help our power. Pitching is now down a little bit. We're still a top 10 team though. And I think after today, I think we can look at Julio Rodriguez. We will activate him. He's placed on the bench. We do lose that game there against Texas. Few are draft picks. Adrian Ramirez, 89 potential, 75 overall at 18 years old. He can pretty much walk in and immediately be one of our best hitters at the major league level at 18 years old. What a get there out of Cuba. First base. Love to see that. Gary Valencia, 66 overall, but 95 potential, 21 years old. Immediately becomes our best pitching prospect. John Simon, 63 overall, 87 potential. He's 21. It's going to take him a little bit, but that power can play now. Definitely needs some development in his contact and his vision discipline and clutch. Never going to be a fielder, but has, a power speed combo that can be useful offensively. Man, what a draft class. Martin Diaz, 62 overall, 87 potential, 22. So he's going to be a little older by the time he's ready to pitch at the major league level. Got to work on that clutch and the home runs per 9 and the hits per 9 too. But got to work on some of the per 9s, but he could be a really, really good player for us. Here toward the end, we get some depth. Parsons is at least decent, has a chance. 18 years old, already being a 63 overall. He should definitely play at some point in time in the majors. Same here for Hopkins, 78 overall, 78 potential, 59 overall. So a little bit lower there on the end. Michael Silva, 68 overall, 75 potential. So you're pretty much is what he is. But as another starting pitcher, all righties. Pretty much among all these guys except for Ramirez. any of these pitchers just by chance can hit. Yeah, I guess they would have had their secondary. So, huge, awesome here at the top. Ramirez, Valencia, Simon, Diaz, all look like they are going to be part of our future. Really excited about Ramirez, Valencia, and Simon. Feel really good about all those guys. Valencia and Ramirez become our top prospects immediately as soon as we get to the offseason. Simon is probably our next best prospect, and I would even say Diaz might be, he's certainly right there in that Cole Young, Cole Emerson range as a prospect. Just he's already maybe a tad bit older there. That's nice. If we look at contract extensions, I mean, we just have so many years on these guys. George Kirby has been really good. Gilbert's been really good. We got 3 more years on him, 4 more on Kirby. Both of them are 27. Wu is 25, but we have got 4 more years after this of team control with him. Bryce Miller. Yeah, I mean, there's no real reason, unless we just wanted to give really any of these guys big extensions. Burleson's continuing to hit, which is good. Just out of curiosity, so Kirby's 27. If we wanted to sign him for 7 years, you're looking at having to give him just a lot of money. I mean, we have money. I'm not overly worried about that. But when you got a little team control, I think maybe getting another year under our belt with these guys, all these guys are just really good too. Miller should not, in theory, be that bad. He's 26. If we want to offer him a 5-year deal, get him for that additional year, costs us $15,800 a year, he would accept that. Put him through 31. I think we can just use that money in other ways to really help this team. Right now, I have no real interest in giving an extension to Raleigh. Not really providing the pop that we're looking for. And we can always offer these guys later. I mean, I have no plans of letting any of these guys go. That's why I didn't trade any of them here at the deadline. But you figure we got our starting rotation here through at least 2 more years. I think Castilla's got 2 years after this year. I know I'm kind of been a little scatterbrained this episode. So got 2 more years at least of all these pitchers unless we trade one in this rotation. I don't see really any purpose of it. I could see maybe moving Castillo in the offseason. I mean, Emerson is definitely continuing to improve. He'd be good enough as a 5th starter for sure with how good the rest of this rotation would be. But that's a decision for a different time. Yeah, this is an elite pitching rotation, so we probably won't do any extensions. Let's get through the rest of this. I think Munoz will hold it down. He does. Okay, so we get a 3-1 victory there. And Julio is no longer injured. So we do lose our first game back with him. We'll lose that series against Texas. Let's make sure I get this where we want it. That's against righties. I think Burleson at 5th makes the most sense there. Julio back up to this 3rd spot here. We do not want Dylan Moore hitting 2nd against lefties. We'll move Polanco up to 2nd against lefties. Julio, Burleson does not need to hit that high, so we'll move Raleigh back up. Crawford. Probably move Garber there to the 5th to protect Raleigh. And then Crawford right behind him. Nice little mixture right there in that spot. Against righties, I do not want Dylan Moore near the top of my lineup. So 340 on-base percentage here for J.P. Crawford. It's 315. We'll move Crawford up to the 2nd spot there. Robles at 321. Just the 43 steals really helps. Doing just enough with the bat that I think between Robles and Crawford, you got a good opportunity to have people up in front of Julio, who may have hit another home run there in that game. Oh, he hit one in back-to-back days right before he got hurt. Okay. Then Raleigh, Burleson, Rayleigh. His righties. Yeah. Okay. How's Rayleigh? Still swinging a hot bat. Still swinging a pretty hot bat. Going 0 for 3 of his last couple of games. Blanco really hitting well. We'll move him up. Rosarena is struggling there. I think Polanco against lefties is definitely the wave. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll move forward here through. I think I want to play a full game against Baltimore. So we're at 50 minutes. Let's sim through this next little bit. We're down by 2. 2 runners on Dillamore. We'll go ahead. We end up losing that game. Okay. Win game 2 there. Look at Raleigh down there. Needs a triple to hit for the cycle. It is a game. Did it say how many outs are there? So we got a runner on first and Julio that's got some speed. Raleigh at the plate. Tie game. We'll jump into this. I think it's going to end up just putting me there like as a player lock with Raleigh though. So I may not be able to like steal with Julio. I'm trying to win this game. So we can win this series.
Now batting.
Yep, can't steal. So Raleigh's at the plate, 3 for 4, a home run, double, and a single. Looking for the triple.
0-1.
Raleigh's starting to get that OPS up a tad here.
Ball, that's off the plate.
1-1 count. It's a good fastball. You can read slider. Oh, hit that two-seam hard. 1-2 count. Throwing fastballs. I think there's a chance he throws a slider here. 1-2.
2 balls.
Does throw the slider well inside. Come on, Raleigh.
Runner.
Fouls that one off. Ended up sending Julio there, but had to foul that one away.
We got full count.
3-2 count. Come on. Let's get a little walk-off action. Oh, thankfully he fouled it away. I mean, a chase should have been ball 4 there. Am I really that early on these fastballs? I thought that one was really well timed. 3-2. Made him throw a bunch of pitches. That ball is scorched and it's going to get down. It's not going to be a triple, but Julio's going to move over to third. There we go. Does not get the triple. An opportunity to win the game here. Ooh. So we did not get that run in. Now it wants me to. It's probably not the best idea. Yep, fastball. Okay. Yep, I don't want to do that. I do not want to do impact plays. Yeah, I don't want to. None. Just do that, I guess. All right, I'll get him to try to throw me a fastball, and I'll just try. Golly. I do not play with PCI ever, so I'm not used to maneuvering that fast, and it's making me, golly. I have not caught a pitch yet. Oh, no.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Munoz is just throwing the ball everywhere, too, which isn't helping. He's not really remotely close to where I'm wanting him to throw it. That ball is scorched, and the White Sox are going to take a lead here. They throw him out at home plate. Oh, Lord. Get him out. So they do take the lead. We do get a nice little throw out there at home. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Can I just sim through the rest of it?
3.
The Mariners end up getting a win. Looked like Julio maybe with the walk-off there. Polanco hits a 2-run homer to win the game. We win 7-5, pick up 15 hits. So Julio has a nice day. Raleigh, Blanco, Robles, Crawford, Burleson. Really, really nice game there, guys. Nice. A lot of nice efforts there at the plate for sure. Might have found a little something here offensively. Let's see. Gilbert has a shutout going late in the game, we'll call it. End up giving a run. We do get a win there. Morales, okay. Down by 2. Robles at the plate. We'll simulate that one. We end up coming back and winning that game. Wow. Blanco's 11-game hitting streak. We'll let it ride. You lose that one there. So, one back-to-back series. Overall, it was a really good episode. We won this series against Milwaukee. We won the series against the Angels. Won the series against the Athletics. We split the series against Texas. Won the series against the White Sox. Won the series against the Rays. We made a trade for Alec Burleson, who has come in. He's only hitting 205. Okay. Yeah, he's going through different. Obviously, it's really, really early in his time here. Still, obviously, progressing in a lot of spots. It's up to a 73 overall now. Still putting up a 723 OPS, which is one of the highest on this team. I think he feels a really good spot for us. But, yeah, I think that's going to be it here for this episode. I do want to play one of these games here. Probably throw with Miller. Want to play one of these games here with the Orioles as two of the best teams in the American League. As we're ending this episode, we're up 9 games here in the AL West. Certainly look like the heavy favorites to win this division, barring a complete collapse. We will also be, way up in the wild card standings if that was something to worry about. We have the best record in the American League, despite hitting .234 and slugging .392 as a team, with just a .310 on base percentage because of that just elite pitching staff. I do think we improved the offense without fleecing the Cardinals by any stretch of the imagination. Picking up what was their 4th outfielder. Yeah, I'm enjoying where we're at right now. And, yeah, that'll be it for this episode. Next time I see you guys, we'll get a full game in with the Orioles. And then we'll move through the rest of August in the next one. And then we'll do September for its own episode as we get ready for the playoffs. Unless the only reason why anything would change as far as that schedule is just because of if we're kind of fading, I want to make sure we win the AL West, that kind of thing. But, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time. Or actually, I guess I should say, if you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe. Check out my Tulane Dynasty and Atlanta Hawks franchise also on the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time.